Were you surprised that you got a lot of outrage, but the outrage garnered a lot of support?
It was never about the money. It was for our belief, and it's a blessing. And God has blessed us for standing up for what we believe.
Indiana pizza shop owner Crystal O'Connor forced to close up after speaking up against gay marriage. And money is pouring in from donors helping this small business get back in business. Over $800,000 raised, but critics are raising concerns. One CBS employee tweeting how she reported the GoFundMe page for fraud, quote, just in case. The Blaze's Dana Loesch set up this page and wants to set the record straight. Dana, why has this story gotten so twisted and so wrong over the last few days?
Well, Cheryl, thanks for having me, first off. And to answer your question, it's because we live in an era of a narrative media. You have a narrative press that simply wants one particular kind of story to go out, and they were the ones who twisted this. I mean, in the very beginning, this was only ever an answer to a hypothetical question. I mean, now, if I was Crystal O'Connor, I would have turned this around on the reporter and said, well, what gay couple do you know that would cater their wedding reception with pizza? But aside from that, she was only ever answering a hypothetical question right after she said they have no problem. It wasn't an issue of serving gay couples in the restaurant. Rather, this was about the activity of a same-sex marriage. And as people of faith, that contradicted with their doctrine.
Okay, so you're saying that the liberal media obviously is at fault here for twisting her story, and again, they've never refused service, and she said that very clearly. At the same time, though, you've got this employee at a CBS station saying basically that she reported them for fraud, and then she had to back off of that because she got attacked on Twitter. She said that she reached out to you and one of your colleagues at the Blaze. Is that true or false?
Absolutely false, Cheryl. It never happened. She never reached out to anyone, not me, not any member of my staff, before she fraudulently reported that account, that GoFundMe page is false. And then after she did it, and after she was caught because she had been bragging about it on Twitter, then she tried to save face, and then she had added, at least in the mentions on Twitter, my contributor, Lawrence Jones. That does not count as reaching out to someone before all of this happened. And I had asked the news director at CBS, well, why is this news staffer, this verified account, because she works for CBS in Richmond, she's listed on your company's website, she's listed on their verified Twitter page, is this for a story? Why would you brag about falsely reporting a legitimate account as fraud? And that was the response that you just cited. That's all we ever got to.
Okay, so the station manager basically kind of clamming up now and not responding to anyone. We should be clear here. Let's talk about the GoFundMe program. I mean, $842,000. I have to say, it really does show to me the support that Americans are really pouring into these businesses that are being, as you say, falsely attacked. I think even the funding standards, you were shocked by how quickly the money poured in from viewers for the page. And then that was just in 4 days, and then you had to stop it, correct?
Yes, and we had only ever meant for this to go until Friday evening, and I figured, now honestly, I figured that maybe we'd raise like $40,000 or $50,000. We set the goal at minimum at 25 because we thought, well, that'd be great if we could get that. But Cheryl, we were raising $350 a minute on average for this thing. I've never seen anything like this, and I have done a lot of crowdsourcing stuff. I've never seen anything like this. And so later today, actually, he's already there, a financial advisor, Ed Butowski, who's appeared on Fox Business before. He's actually there with an accountant meeting with the family pro bono because we didn't want this blessing to end up being a burden for them.
Well, I hope that they're going to reopen the pizza shop.
They are. Not only are they reopening the pizza shop, but from what we understand, and the transfer from GoFundMe has already started, so we're out of the picture at this point. But from what we understand, the family is actually going to use some of those donations. They're paying off a business loan that they had that was about $53,000, I think. And then they're going to use some of this money to help out those other business owners that have been attacked, like the 70-year-old florist Baronel Stutzman and people like Elaine Photography, business owners who are actually losing everything because of this persecution.
You know, you have to wonder why this has become such a hot button issue. And immediately last week, and I said this on Fox Business, that, you know, look, we've got an election coming up and that you've got people looking for big social issues to turn into bigger issues. But the liberal media in particular, why do you think that they have grabbed onto this particular this pizza owner, this issue in Indiana, and to a lesser extent in Arkansas, to kind of make their mark against the GOP? Why is that, do you think?
That's the million-dollar question, and it's completely inconsistent because these are the same people, Cheryl, that cheer the framework of a rough draft of an understanding with a nuclear Iran, which actually kills people for being gay. And they completely support Apple doing business with countries like Saudi Arabia, again, which kills people for being gay. And I might also add that they ignore stories like the Islamist in Seattle who killed 2 men for being gay, another Islamist, completely different guy, who tried to burn down a gay nightclub. If they really wanted to focus on issues where discrimination and death was occurring, that's what they would do. But this isn't about equality. This is about getting a political jab in at the expense of individual liberty. This isn't a social issue. This is a rights issue, and the government should never be the one to determine the sincerity of faith or when someone can be a Christian or whatever and when they can't.
Yeah. Dana, very well said. Thank you so much for your time today, and great job helping them out. And Ed as well. Good for Ed helping them out. Can't wait till they open up once again. Dana, thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Cheryl.